In this special Christmas 10 Minutes with Jesus meditation, we tell the story of Herod's secret policeman.
This is a story about something that happened a long time ago, but which is still happening today. A long time ago, there was a very old, very clever, very cruel king. His name was Herod, and although he had been king for a long time, his people hated him. Not that they'd say that out loud, because if you said something bad about Herod, he was sure to find out. Herod had spies everywhere, and he had lots and lots of secret police. I know, because I was one of them. Secret Policeman Number 3. Nobody knows my real name. Shh, it's a secret. But for as long as I can remember, I've worked for the king. One day, I was guarding the main gate when some visitors arrived.
"We are wise men from the east,"
they said. I was impressed. I'd never met wise men from these before. I'd never met wise men from the north, south, or west, come to that.
"We have travelled a long way,"
said the first one.
"A very long way,"
said the second one.
"A very, very, very long,"
said the third one.
"We have come to see the new prince,"
said the first wise man.
"following the star in the sky."
"We don't have a new prince," I said. "All we have is an old king."
"Then take us to him,"
said the wise men. So I took the wise men to the king.
"We have travelled a long way,"
said the first wise man.
"A very long way,"
said the second wise man.
"A very, very, very."
Never mind that,
said the king.
Why are you here?
"To see the new prince, of course."
The king stared at them.
What new prince?
He demanded.
"The one foretold by the star."
The king looked very angry, and I could see that the wise men were beginning to think that maybe coming to see him wasn't a very wise thing to do. Herod turned to his advisors.
Would anyone like to tell me where this new prince might be found?
He asked. The advisors looked at each other nervously. Quite often the king asked some questions as a kind of test. Answer wrongly, and very bad things might happen to you. In our scriptures, said one of them eventually, it says something about Bethlehem, that little town not far from here. The king turned to the wise men.
There you go, Bethlehem. And if you find this prince, do come back and tell me where he is, so that I can meet him as well.
After the wise men left, Herod sent everyone out of the hall, except for me. For a moment, I was very worried that I'd done something wrong and that a very bad thing might happen to me. But Herod called me to come close.
Secret Policeman Number 3. Follow them and tell me where they go, in case they don't come back.
Do you really think a prince could be born here without you knowing, sire?
Of course not. There are no other rulers except me. But he might be a threat all the same. People might follow him instead of me. So find out all you can and keep it secret. Go in disguise.
Yes, sir, I said excitedly. Secrecy is my speciality. After all, I am Secret Policeman Number 3. I love disguises, so as soon as I left the king, I rushed to my special top secret disguise cupboard and dressed up in the shabbiest clothing I could find. I'll go as a shepherd, I decided. Then I grabbed hold of Nellie, my favourite toy sheep, and disappeared into the night. If there's one thing I was good at, it was disappearing into the night. The problem with the night, of course, is that it is very dark, and I didn't know the way. But then I looked up into the sky and saw the star that the wise men had mentioned. I've never seen that star before, I thought. It's all very odd. The star lit my way to Bethlehem, and I was just making my way carefully through the town when I ran straight into a group of people.
"Which way are you going?"
Sorry, I said. I'm just a visiting shepherd. Look, I've got a sheep and everything,
"Oh, we're shepherds as well,"
said their leader. But then he looked at Nellie the sheep.
"Your ship isn't moving much,"
He said suspiciously. Yeah, she's fainted, I answered. She had a fright.
A fright? Did you see the angels as well?
Asked another shepherd.
They were scary, weren't they? Did they tell you about the baby?
We've seen him.
said another.
We think he's the Messiah, the one who will rescue all of us, the one true king. He's here.
The shepherds were laughing and cheering and slapping each other on the back. They were so happy,
So, what did the angel say to you?
they asked. But I was no longer there. I had disappeared into the night. First the star, and now all this stuff about angels and the Messiah, I thought. It's all very odd. I turned a corner and bumped straight into someone.
Watch where you're going.
She said, "Sorry, I'm just a visiting shepherd with my sheep,"
Oh, not another shepherd.
said the woman crossly.
First, you barge in on that poor young mother in the stable round the corner. And now, you run around town, bashing into people.
What young mother would that be? I asked.
Oh, poor young thing. I went to help her with the baby. And do you know where they put the child? In a manger, an animal's feeding trough. I mean, it's not hygienic, is it?
Not at all. And you said, in the stable round the corner, right? The woman stopped and stared at me suspiciously.
Wait a minute. Why isn't your sheep moving?
Concussion, I said. She got knocked out when we bumped into you.
Anyway, you're not to go and bother that young mum.
But I wasn't there. I had disappeared into the night. The stars, the angels, and now a baby in a manger? I thought, it's all very odd. I could see a building with light ahead of me. I went towards it and I walked straight into the wise men. But fortunately, due to my excellent disguise, they didn't recognise me,
Watch where you're going.
said the first wise man. Sorry, I said. I'm just a visiting shepherd with my sheep,
Well, why isn't your ship moving?
said the third wise man. She's asleep. She's tired out after walking such a long way.
You as well. We came a very, 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 very long way. And all to give the baby our gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Why would you give a baby such expensive things? I asked.
Oh, he's not just a baby. He is God's special gift to us all. He will save all of us. Now we're going to go back home to tell others all about him.
Are you going to tell King Herod?
Of course not. We're not stupid. We're wise.
Very wise.
Very, very, very. Hang on a minute. How did you know about Herod?
But I was no longer there. I had disappeared into the... Well, actually, I'd gone in to see the baby. It was not a place you'd expect to find a prince. It was dark and smelly and dirty, and there were animals there. But as I looked at the mother, the father, and the baby sleeping in the manger, I had the strangest feeling. The star, the angels, the manger, the gold, frankincense and myrrh, I thought, it's all very wonderful. All my life, I had obeyed orders. Always Secret Policeman Number 3. All my life, I believed what I'd been told by the king. But what if this baby really was a kind of prince? What if the angels really had been telling the truth? What if he was God's special gift? Suddenly, I realised this little baby was the most important thing in the world,
Hello,
said the father.
another shepherd. Your sheep doesn't look too well.
I'm not a shepherd, I said. This is a present for the baby. And I put Nellie, my favourite toy sheep, next to where the baby lay,
Thank you.
said the mother, who was so beautiful. But we haven't any time, I said suddenly. The king thinks your son is a threat, and that means a very bad thing might happen to him. The father nodded.
We know. I had a dream. We have to go.
But where will we be safe?
Asked the mother. She was very young, and she looked very tired. I felt very sorry for her. I'll take you, I said. I know where you can cross the border without anyone seeing.
How do you know that?
said the father. I used to be a secret policeman. I was Secret Policeman Number 3.
And what are you now?
I don't know. Somebody different. Somebody better. So I led the mother and the father, whose names were Mary and Joseph, away from Bethlehem on a special secret route across the border into Egypt. You'll be safe here, I said.
Thank you.
Said Mary.
What will you do now?
Oh, I don't know, I answered. Maybe I'll become a shepherd. I've got the uniform.
If Herod finds out that you've helped us, he will kill you.
I'll be careful, I said. I'll have to hide. And I thought for a moment. But maybe in the future, lots of people will believe that your son is the true king. And there will be other rulers and kings who won't like that at all. So maybe a lot of us who follow your son will have to hide. I turned to go.
Wait, I don't even know your real name.
But I was no longer there. I had disappeared into the night.
This is a story about something that happened a long time ago, but which is still happening today. There are still a lot of Herods around the world today, people who are every bit as cruel as he was, and who demand complete obedience from the people they rule. Like Herod the Great, they feel threatened by Jesus and try to arrest or even kill anyone who follows him. But there are also still a lot of shepherds and wise men around as well, people who know how special Jesus is and choose to follow him. It can be a very dangerous thing to do, so often these Christians meet in secret. There are still a lot of secret policemen around today, people who spy on their own people. They keep a record of anyone who they think is suspicious. This often includes Christians who can be followed or have their homes raided. Let's pray for all Christians this year who are suffering persecution and difficulties in living out their faith. And let's also pray for the wonderful charities which do so much to help. Organisations like Open Door, which produce this story, or other charities like Aid to the Church in Need and Christian Solidarity Worldwide. And when we feel lazy to go to church or afraid to speak up about our faith, let's remember that somewhere in the world now, Christians are risking their lives to follow Christ. What are we doing? This recording is a very slightly revised version of Herod's Secret Policeman, produced by the Christian charity Open Doors. You can find the video version of it on the Open Doors website and also get a printed copy. The words are by Nick Page and the illustrations by Robin Levins. We are grateful to Open Doors for allowing us to use this story for our Christmas meditation this year.